Looking outside the window inside Elliot's loft, it's a gorgeous day in the northeast part of the United States, Hampton, Connecticut to be exact. If I'm inside the loft, you know it's time to cook up another episode of When Black Men Talk, the provocative, informative dialogue that's rooted in self evaluation, empathy, and humility. Come on in. Hopefully, this episode finds you doing well. Thank you for giving me a listen. You know, we should always be focused and paying attention to our physical and mental well being daily, something we should be paying attention to, being tuned to. I'm going to focus on the mind just for a little bit. The emotional state of mind. Yeah, the emotional state of mind. This is where our thoughts and behaviors are driven due to our feelings, emotions, and impulses rather than logic. Now, I'm thinking if you put those three together, feelings, mood, and impulses, uh, you may have a little tough time getting to the logic. And that's the war. That's the battle. When you're basically running on those feelings, most moods, and impulses, it's tough to get to the foundation of logic. See, the intense and irrational reaction, that's where emotions distort facts to align with your current feelings. Therefore, it's aligning with what you're feeling. It's not trying to basically logically have you in that space to think things in a logical sense. That's the war. That's the battle. Sometimes, not even sometimes, we always should be flushing out those emotions. The emotional flush. From time to time, when we're feeling anger, fear, joy for that matter, even sometimes embarrassment, we'll get a sudden involuntary rush of blood to the face, neck, or upper chest. This is caused by strong emotions. This triggers your sympathetic nervous system, the nervous system widening our blood vessels in response to adrenaline. Now, if you listen to that, it may sound harmful, but in reality, it's harmless. Now, here's the interesting rub. The psychological surge of emotions has a duration, or emotion, if it's just one, has a duration of 90 seconds in our bloodstream. I got to go back and say that again. The psychological surge of emotion has a duration of 90 seconds in your bloodstream. So basically, anger, fear, sad to say too, joy, it only runs through us for 90 seconds. Once the emotion is triggered, chemicals flush through our body. But after 90 seconds, the emotion dissipates, vanish, it fades. What are we doing with that after the 90 seconds? See, that's the key right there. That's the point. That will be the objective. With our thoughts, we start to re-stimulate the emotion. We're thinking about it. We're focusing and giving it life long after the 90 seconds. Therefore, the emotions have life to live on and on and on. And that on could be for days. It could be for months. Some it could be for years. Our thoughts are what triggers and basically new life to it after 90 seconds. Our body releases after 90 seconds, pushes it out. It's gone. We must let it go emotionally. We have to let it go emotionally. That's the choice. We have to let it go. We must release it. Remember the potent phrase, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Small phrase, but very mighty. Dr. Jill Bodle Teller, a neuromorphologist, her research, this brought up the idea of a 90-second rule. After 90 seconds, we're fueling it by replaying the thought. We're actually creating a loop by dwelling on the initial thought, re-stimulating it, creating an emotional circuit. You know, electricity kind of basically runs through. Back in the day, we had transistors and stuff like that and radios, and it had like a circuit where the things kind of ran through to basically get the electronic thing to work. For the most part, our emotions are the same way in a sense. When we kind of re-stimulate it, We're creating that loop, that emotional circuit for it to constantly keep running, constantly keep feeding itself over and over and over again. And that was what caused our emotions to last much longer. Now, emotional regulation can help you with that emotion. You can turn that emotion into a passing wave, a wave that really just leaves with 90 seconds. It's gone. Observe the emotion. Don't engage in it. Observe the emotion during the 90 seconds. But after the 90 seconds, push yourself not to engage after that thought, the initial thought, not the analyzing, what if, why. Move away from that. Now, it's natural for most of us to engage. Why even thinking about it? We're accustomed to it. It's something we've been doing for years, and we're replaying it over and over and over. And every time we move to think about it, you're stimulating it. The mind is bringing it back in. It's giving new life. The CPR has already been done when you start to think about it. Therefore, we need to adapt mindfulness. Allow the emotional wave to pass through. Resist the restart. When you find yourself thinking about it again, realize you're restarting the process over again. Therefore, resist the restart. Make this a daily practice. Shift your mind during the 90 seconds to think of something else. Identify the feeling of what's basically going on. What am I feeling? State the feeling to yourself. This will allow your brain's nervous system to basically kick in, your brain's emotional system to kick in. Refocus your thoughts. After the 90 seconds pass, if the feeling persists, question yourself, why am I still feeling this? Break the cycle of refueling. Break the cycle of restarting. That's what we need to be doing. Don't amplify the emotion. Utilize emotional regulation to reset your nervous system. Avoid getting stuck in prolonged feelings of stress and anxiety. Bring yourself out of that emotional suffering. Lean into the positive and speak this during those moments. Speak and think it. Let go and let God. Let go and let God. Now, letting go may not be easy, but if you make it a practice, just like anything else in life, you make that a practice, watch how easy it becomes. Let go and let God. You know, God loves you and I love you too. Take care of yourself. We get together real soon. It's Mark Elliott when Black Men Talk.